A friend of mine introduced me to NuSpecies. I consulted with Aston and he gave me a long list of things to do with diet and the supplements to get. And he did promise me that within 3 months I'm gonna get pregnant if I follow strictly on his recommendations. It was hard, but I did. The initial agreement was I was going to do IVF, and Aston told me to...
Explain what IVF
IVF is In Vitro Fertilization, where they take the egg and they take a sperm and they fertilize it outside and then they put it back into the uterus.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came to Aston told me to hold up for at least 3 months. Don't go through with the IVF yet.
Because it costs
$20,000 and give the NuSpecies a try for 3 months. And I did so.
How long it's been now?
I started a NuSpecies in, I think, April or May.
Okay.
And so I started, my starting FSH with pregnancy is mostly, it has to do with your follicle stimulating hormones because that has to trigger the eggs to grow. With this cycle that I started on June 3rd, I grew 8 follicles, which were good ones. It's viable to fertilize.
For pregnancy.
For pregnancy. I told the doctor I want to try the IUI one time. The IUI is artificial insemination where they take the sperm and they just inject it to the uterus and then the sperm has to go and find its way to look for the egg. I did that because my husband is not here. He comes into the country every 3 to 4 months. With a baseline, my FSH had dropped to 8.3.
Wow.
Which is
perfect.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Because for you to maintain a healthy pregnancy, they want it to be below 10. And I started from almost 30 to 8.6. They started stimulating the ovaries, and I had done one cycle before that was in March, which had failed. With that cycle, I only grew 2 eggs. So with this second time when I did it, I grew 8 eggs. So I did it, and then in 2 weeks, I did it in June, I forgot the exact date, and then in 2 weeks, that was on the 23rd. I went for my bladder work. No, on the 19th, I went for my bladder work. And the doctor called me. Normally, when you go for your bladder work, the doctors don't call you, it's the nurses that calls. So the doctor called me and he said, Vivian, this is Dr. Bayuk. I said, okay, I have your results. And I said, okay. And he's like, I don't believe it. You're pregnant. I'm like, what?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm like, what? He's like, yes, I don't believe it. And the HCG, the pregnancy hormone, normally when you're just pregnant, it's low.
Yeah.
But mine was 350, so that means there's a high chance of multiples because it's above 150. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It's like, no, so you need to come in every week for us to monitor and see. So every 2 days I have to go in for bladder work, and it keeps doubling. It's supposed to double. So since it's doubling, he said that's a good pregnancy.
You look so much younger.
Yeah, you see.
Gosh.
She changed all of her.
She looks like a girl.
Yes, I do. So I came here to say thank you to Aston